folks, Kelly Indy Smith here, and welcome to my video. Welcome to This Is How I Did It. And today I would like to talk about how I made my first dollar online. Yes, how I made my first dollar online. And I'm speaking of this in context of making that dollar in terms of something that someone physically said, yes, I'm going to purchase this, I'm going to support this, I'm going to pay towards that. I'm not talking in terms of ads, as far as, with a website and automatically getting, your revenue from ads and those marketing kind of tricks and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. Like I said, exclusively how I made my first dollar through someone actually saying, hey, I'd like to buy this, I'd like to support this, and I want to pay you for this and not, get scammed into paying you for this. And I think it's important because I remember the first time I shared with my significant other, I'm like, oh my gosh, babe, I made this. And it was like 25 cents, and as far as in general making funds. And he was like, that's something. A lot of people don't even know how to get to that point to generate an income online. And again, I'm not making thousands and thousands of dollars online, but it's something. It's worth just cracking the code on how do I even get there when I'm able to start making something and have just the opportunity and the flexibility to make an income online. And I'm happy to say my first dollar in that way was through my music. And I'm so happy that it's through my music because one, it's through something I love, and two, it's through something that I already thought to myself, okay, I'm doing this because I actually love it. I'm not doing this to survive. I have a regular 9-to-5, and this is just something that I know it's a gift and I like to grow it. So in saying that, I think your heart posture has a lot to do with, how you make your first dollar online, right? How you make your first set of income online. Obviously, if you're doing it from a business perspective, as far as this is something I actually want to grow full time, then it's going to be different. Like I mentioned about the ads, that's going to be different as well, because maybe you might push more of those. Maybe you might push more opportunities for collaboration and things of that sort. But for me, it was doing something I love, like music. And for a long time, my music was available for free. And it still is available for free, right? And that in itself helped me with consistency, was being able to say, hey, I have this available for free. You could get this on streaming platforms. I would have people come to me and say, how can I support this? Even though it was already for free. Even though they could purchase it they could listen to it for free on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere. I'd still have persons who wanted to know, how can I support your music? And when someone says something like that, after you've said, okay, you could share it, you could like it, you could, give it a listen. When someone has used those words, how can I support your music? Usually it's speaking from a place of, how can I financially support you and your music? And obviously that's welcomed because that's something that artists need, especially artists who want to go into the music landscape full time. It's at the beginning, it's very tough. And so when persons were like, how can I support you? How can I support you? I was like, okay, this is something like persons want to actually purchase and provide financial support. And I remember I had someone actually say, where can I buy your music? And I said, it was free. And, at one point it made me feel like, all right, let me just record this song and give it to this person and they'll like sell me whatever. But it was kind of like, okay, I need a standard format for persons who share that sentiment of like, okay, how can I support your music? And then that's when I started doing my research and I found Bandcamp. And Bandcamp is a great opportunity for like independent artists to just put their work out there and give fan opportunities to support it. And it's free. And the artist gets 100% of the proceeds, which is really, really nice. And so I started up my Bandcamp. And again, it wasn't something I focused on like, okay, buy my music here. It was just and if you want to, here's the opportunity to. And when I tell you, I created a Bandcamp And when people ask me, how can I support, and I send them the Bandcamp, they go ahead and they buy the songs. And I price the songs at like $1 each. And then you could have the option to donate more if you'd like. But that's how I made my first dollar, through Bandcamp. Through doing something I loved, being consistent, and then having persons ask me, how can I support this? And then through that, doing my research, figuring out, okay, what's the best platform, and then coming across Bandcamp. So that's how I made my first dollar online. And I hope that it kind of gives you some kind of insight on how you could start making your first dollar online. But yeah, this is how I did it.